Boundaries and love, the key to stronger relationships. This is the 11th episode of the series segment Transformative Personal Experience. Love is supposed to bring us joy, right? But what happens when love feels draining, frustrating, or even toxic? The truth is, love without boundaries is chaos. What if I told you that love without boundaries isn't love at all? Sounds powerful, right? So, many people think setting boundaries in relationships means pushing people away. But in reality, it is what allows love to thrive. Emotional boundaries in love. How they shape the way we give and receive love. And how they can make or break our relationships. And that is exactly what we are diving into today. How setting boundaries enhance love, trust, and respect in all relationships, whether with family, friends, or partners. Welcome back to Your Best for a Better You, your special forces unit for breakthrough living, where we decode the DNA of excellence to help you dominate personal and professional growth. Hello, my dear friends. I am Scarlett Marcel Vantedeschia, and today we are breaking down the unspoken rules of love, relationships, and boundaries. Because without them, love turns into resentment, and connection turns into control. Okay, my friends, so this episode will open your eyes to the hidden patterns in love and relationships that no one talks about. We will dive into personal experiences, exploring how different love languages can create conflict without clear boundaries. We will discuss the role of trust, emotional needs, and personal space in a relationship, using my own story with my Torah and a real life relationship struggle from a couple, so you can see firsthand how boundaries define love. But before we begin, my dear friends, make sure you are subscribed to the Entrepreneurial Life Insights because this episode connects directly to our latest newsletter. And don't forget, the Boundary Reset Experience Starlink dives deeper into personal boundaries. Join the waiting list for exclusive access. If you have ever struggled with feeling misunderstood in a relationship, believe me, this is the episode for you. So, my dear friends, let's dive in. Perhaps this sounds familiar to some of you, as it is a role we often play as providers. When you are navigating the concrete jungle, working hard to bring home the bread, it is common to prioritize safety and support. We believe we have fulfilled our mission, right? However, we often put aside the issue of affection. You get home tired and maybe emotionally wounded. In place, you find the need for hugs. Yes, in Spanish we call them apapachos. But you might not be looking for those, right? Instead, you are probably seeking a delicious meal, a warm bath, and your bed. But surprise! Your lovely ones may be looking for something completely different. Okay? Or perhaps it's the opposite. You come home in need of affection, but that is not what you find there. What's going wrong here? You are wondering, right? Well, I have always been a provider, a problem solver. I express love through action, ensuring the people I love have what they need, that they are safe, and that they are supported. But my Dora, she needed something completely different: affection, reassurance, emotional connection. See, my friends? So let's recap. I always thought I knew how to show love. I was protective, I was a provider, I handled things in my mind. That was love. In my mind, in my heart. That was love, okay? But my Dora, she saw it differently. She needed affection, not just words, not just actions, but hugs, warm, emotional closeness. And because I wasn't naturally expressive that way, I am not naturally expressive that way. She thought I didn't love her. Okay? At first, I was frustrated. I was doing everything I could to give her security. How? I was wondering how could she not see that? Then it hit me, my friends. We were speaking different love languages. Very different. I express love through acts of service and problem solving, and she receives love through physical affection and emotional connection. Two very different love languages. Are you agree? And here is where emotional boundaries come in. I had to set a boundary for myself. I needed to be intentional about expressing love in a way she could receive. But at the same time, she needed to understand that if I was in the middle of a high focus, high stress task, that wasn't the right moment to seek deep connection with me. Got it? So, boundary number one, understanding love languages doesn't mean losing yourself. It means adapting while keeping your identity. Boundary number two, recognizing the right time and space for emotional connection. That gave us power, my friends. In our case, the boundaries were shaped by our unique relationship values and love languages. In different types of relationships with different values and love languages, the boundaries will also be different. Are you agree? Awesome. So, today, my friends, let me tell you, no more hard feelings, no more misinterpretation between my Dora and I. This heals her self-esteem and eliminates my guilt feeling of insensitive mother. And then our relationship flourishes. How that sounds, my friends. Here is what we learn, my friends. If you don't understand yourself first, you will struggle to communicate your needs. And worse, you will assume the other person doesn't care, right? So, most people never realize this in their relationships. They assume love is one size fits all, and it's not, my friends. And here is the kicker. This doesn't just apply to parent-child relationships. It affects romantic relationships, friendships, and even professional dynamics. And that brings me to the next story. Allow me to share it with you. I met a woman who was trapped in a toxic cycle with her husband. Okay? He was unfaithful. She suspected it. She checked his phone. She found evidence. They argued. He promised to change. The cycle repeated over and over again. Now, here is the hard truth. This wasn't just about betrayal. It was about a lack of boundaries. Yes, my friends. Because boundaries aren't just about saying no. They are about defining what love, trust, and respect mean to you and making sure they are honored. Do you agree? Well, what happens when there are no boundaries? You compromise your own self respect, right? You stay stuck in patterns that destroy your confidence. You start questioning your worth. Okay? So, for this woman, her biggest challenge wasn't living, it was understanding that love isn't about proving your worth to someone who constantly disrespects it. This is where the non negotiables take center stage. What she was willing to accept and what she wasn't. Those are the non negotiables. We have talked about the non negotiables in previous episodes, and you can read about those in my newsletter as well. Okay, my friends, this is super important in this case. Now, here is the lesson. If your relationship constantly crosses the same lines, it is not about working harder. It's about setting boundaries that protect your self respect. Okay, my friends, this is powerful, right? Now, boundaries are the foundation of love. They don't push people away, they teach them how to love you correctly. How that sounds powerful, right? Now, here is what I want you to think about. Do you know your love language? How do you give and receive love? Number two, do you set emotional boundaries in your relationships? Or are you constantly overextended? And the last one, are you in a similar cycle to this woman? Are you accepting behavior that goes against your values? Those are very good questions, right? So, my dear friends, it's time to take back control. Love isn't about sacrificing yourself, it's about being whole and sharing that wholeness with someone else. Okay, my friends, if this episode hits home for you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're still curious, what's your natural personality type and how does it affect your relationships? Very easy. Get on the waiting list for my book, The Boundary Reset Experience Starlin, where I break down how different personality types set and receive love boundaries. Those are powerful. You already hear how those help my Dora and I. So check it out. Check out the latest newsletter edition, Love and Boundaries, the unspoken rules of healthy relationships. It's related to this episode. It's going to be very helpful as well. Okay, my friends? So, mission accomplished. Thank you so much for tuning in to your best for a better you, your special forces unit for breakthrough living. And copy this, my friends. Love without boundaries isn't love, it's attachment. True love thrives when respect, communication, and emotional clarity are in place. Stay strong, stay empowered, strength and honor. See you in your end.